really important that we begin to change the mindset of young people to know that your vote counts.
They don't understand that the legislative arm of government is actually a co-equal arm of government.
We have an incredible amount of potential.
Whatever it is I was doing, because of my personal DNA, it had to be of an international standard. Which is what, seriously speaking, is all about.
Yes, being a parent is not easy. Most people dream of one day having babies. Some people try forever and never get. Some people, they say you sneeze around them and they get pregnant. And then they get the baby, and first, who's responsible for caring for that child? The father, the mother, or who? At the beginning, definitely the mother. But eventually, both parents should be responsible for taking care, not only buying the food and caring for them, for making them nurtured to the best that it can possibly be. Even more so for young girls. That's why on this particular edition of the show, I'm so excited about the guests that I have, because I have two people who are experts in this area. They're both parents, one male, one female. One is a medical doctor, the other person is a publisher of a book, a magazine called Parenting. But what we are talking about is centered on an issue that is so fundamental. Young girls getting pregnant and just roaming the streets. What happens to them? Where are the male role models in their lives? How do they end up the way they do? So I'll come back on the show. I'll start with a case study of somebody that I just heard about just this morning. And we're back with Seriously Speaking, if you don't go away. Yes, I'm back. Now, it happens on this show. Anybody who happens to pass by just might become a guest. So don't be surprised. Now, this young lady is my makeup artist, and she works for a company called Beauty Cook. The first time she did my makeup, I was very upset, and I yelled at her, and I said, I never want to see you again. But then I met her again, and when I heard her story, I was fascinated by the story of survival that was in that story. And said, someday we're going to tell your story on Seriously Speaking. But then she's here today, not because of her story, but because of what she chose to do the night before coming on set for this show. So it's my pleasure to welcome Camilla on set. Hi, Camilla.
Hi, good morning. Good afternoon.
Are you forgetting that it's Auntie? Whatever.
Good morning, good afternoon. I've forgotten the time anyway, Auntie.
You know, Camilla is part Cameroonian and part Nigerian.
Yes, please.
And you had a street life, more or less.
Yes.
By accident, what happened?
Well, I lost the most precious person in my life. I'm a single mom. So my coming to Lagos was to strive for a better life. That's how they say coming to the city. But my coming to the city wasn't a better life for me at first.
Now, you were coming to Lagos from the north.
I was coming to Lagos actually from Cross River.
Okay.
Where I met a friend that said I can come to Lagos, it's going to be better. Getting to Lagos, I couldn't reach her, I don't have a life, let me say. There was no life.
What was that first night like?
Yeah, it was terrible. I got to Lagos, I was robbed in the bus of the small touchlight phone I had then. It was a raining day. I was all wet with my tiny little bag, and I had 1,000 naira left on me. I could remember roaming the streets of Obalende at that time. Obalende, where the girls' hawk, was where I could find a room for myself, which was 800 naira at that time. That was like 12 years ago today. So I could sleep there. But I perched on the bed, at the edge of the bed until it was morning, because I felt the bed was filthy. I could hear sounds from outside. There was a lot of talking all night. It was crazy. All I was praying for, God, let it be morning, let me leave this place. It was morning, not as if I had somewhere to go to, but my mind is because I was going to see my friend. Maybe it was network that made me not to connect to her. But that morning was the shock of my life, because I got to the bus stop, which was Parkview, where I was supposed to meet her. That's the estate where she lives. But I couldn't reach her. Even when I reached her, she said she's out of Lagos. And after then, she refused to pick up my call.
Anyway, to cut a long story short, you had to survive because you lost your husband.
Yeah.
You went home to try to raise your child,
Yeah.
you worked, and you came to Lagos. Now, that first night was Nobalende. What happened while you're here today also was Nobalende.
Yes.
A young girl was roaming,
Yeah.
and you were worried about the fact that she had nowhere to stay. Everybody was walking around her, but you could connect.
Yes. Yes, because I saw me in her. She was just roaming with her bag on her head. So it was like somebody going and coming back. And I was watching. What's wrong with her? Where is she going to? Or maybe she didn't know the bus she was entering. That was my first thought.
And it was a rainy night too.
Yes. So walking to her, and I said, where are you going to? She said, nowhere. where are you coming from? She said, nowhere. She was lost. You could see it in her, but there was no tears. But she's just there. She's a child. She's about 17. So I now said, okay, sit, let's talk. I was waiting for someone. I had closed from work. I was going home. So I had to sit and just give her my time.
And what did she tell you?
She said she was coming from somewhere where the boy who got her impregnated was living.
Pregnant?
Yes.
Or she is pregnant?
She is pregnant. She was coming from the house where the boy who impregnated her and has dumped her. This rain spoiled the shack they were living. So she really don't have where to stay. She's looking for where to stay.
Did she talk about having a father?
Yes, she said her father lives in Okokomaiko. And the father got married to another wife, and that was how the whole trouble came from. So they couldn't live with him. So I guess that's why, she said that was why she came to live with her boyfriend. And along the line, I'm using her words, said, along the line, I got pregnant. And I smiled because seriously, she was just talking innocently. She didn't feel like somebody that knew what she was saying. She was just talking like, and accidentally I got pregnant. I said, okay. So now where are you going to? She said, nowhere. He said, I shouldn't come to where he is because he left her the Saturday before the rain started. He left her for his own sister's place. And
he must be a young boy too.
He is. They said he's selling plantain chips.
Wow. So what does that tell you about young girls on the street and growing up and the role of the family and all of that?
Oh, I think, I feel a lot of parents are neglecting their job, number one. You cannot tell me because the child is bad, you want to dump the child somewhere. Where?
Even the police told you that?
Yes, the police told me that we don't have anywhere to keep them. Where are you taking them? The other said, you want to put wala on your head. And for me, I said my mind was made up that night. My mind was made up. I said I was going to go to any land this is going to go to because I was once in this shoe roaming around Lagos finding where to rest my head.
And you were not 17?
No, I wasn't 17. I was older.
It must be tough.
Yeah.
So, well, that's setting the story. I appreciate what you've shared with us, and I will follow up and hope that this girl will have a baby safely. Yeah. I'll take a break, and I'll return to the studio. Thank you, Camilla, for being.
Thank you very much, Auntie.
Yes.
I'm grateful.
I'll take a break, and I'll invite the two experts who've been waiting in the studio to share their experiences on how we can ensure that things like this don't happen again. No child is an accident. And no child is bad if we all can be good parents, starting with the fathers. We're back.